Thank you. Good evening, race fans, and welcome along to round number 8, an unashamed sneak peek of the wonders we have ahead of us this evening. The powers that be have spoken, and for round number 8 of their Nitro Concepts Contender Series Season 1, we are going to be round number 7 at Bathurst. Not only that, your eyes do not deceive you. That is precipitation falling from the sky. Maybe slightly a bit excited with this evening's events that are about to unfold. And yeah, a cheeky sneak peek at what's to come. As I said, it is the Contender Series. My name is John Wright, aka Double O Raven. My absolute pleasure to take you through all of the action again for this evening's race. It promises to be another absolute barn burner like the rest of the series so far. Red Bull Ring, Watkins Glen, Fuji, Sebring, Laguna Seca and Spa. The tracks we have been to already. Bathurst and Road America for the drivers this evening, and the final round on December the 30th. It will be the usual affair. 150 points up for grabs for the winner. The drivers will have a 10-minute qualifying session, during which time they will set 2 laps, the best of which, of course, will see their starting position in the 60-minute race. Their one mandatory pit stop, of course, governed by the fact that they have a maximum of 67% of their fuel tank if you're lucky enough to be in a Ford. The BMW is down at 63%. The rest of the cars falling nicely in between. And of course, the drivers vying for those incredible prizes. €500 Camus voucher. The Pagani Huayra are pedals. Acetec Sim Sport, they're absolute crackers. And of course, the Cube Control steering wheel, the F Pro Blue. Who doesn't want to get their hands on one of those? And up at the top, the 3 drivers, well actually, you know what, I'm going to say 4. The 4 drivers that are looking to get their hands on these incredible prizes. Up at the top we can see Aaron Vasquez, Yuri Kastrop and Sven Ole Haas absolutely dueling it out. Vasquez bringing home a 2nd win in the series. Sees him 3 points ahead of Kastrop, the only other driver to bring 2 wins home this season. So phenomenal racing from the both of them so far. Incredibly close up at the top with 2 to go. Sven Ole Haas only 12 points behind Kastrop and 12 points ahead of Gun Tisdalen. Tisdalen hasn't been on the top spot. He has had 3 trips onto the podium, so he knows how to get the job done over the hour. Haas, of course, one of the only other drivers outside the top 2 to bring home a race win. Nicholas Laubish with a win as well, but didn't start last week's race, unfortunately, and it doesn't look like he's here this evening either. So the top 4 do look like they're going to be dueling out themselves. 150 points for the race winner, of course. Perhonen has found himself so close to the podium with those 4th places in America and Germany. It does sit 18 points ahead of René Lenz. Bostia and Rizier inside the top 10 and ahead of Gamble, with Laubitsch rounding out the top 10, but again not starting this evening, so we obviously won't see any improvements in his position there. Let me just grab this up and running. It is Bathurst that we are at this evening. Slightly excited about that one, if you hadn't caught on to that. The drivers out for the start of their qualifying session. As you can see, it is an extremely wet Bathurst that the drivers are dealing with. There is Tisdalen, championship leader Vasquez out in the Ferrari. I'm not sure we've ever seen any of these drivers so tentative around this track, and of course with the recent update to the iRacing tyre and debris model, This is an absolute baptism of fire for the drivers behind the wheel tonight. We'll get some times in a moment. That's not going to count. We'll jump on board. In fact, who do we have this evening? We've got Haas in as well, of course, making his way down the hill. I was not exaggerating when I said there was puddles every place over the track. The drivers are going to be put through the absolute ringer, much like the race suits are after. We've got Tasdalen in as well. Chialfi behind the wheel of his Ferrari once again. Have you ever seen them go so slow through there? There, Mishka out on track. We'll do a quick look. Of course, at Vasquez, we've got Noah Eder. Had a bit of an up and down season, or more than up and down race last time out. Definitely showed his pedigree in long stints. And they are holding on to that one. That was so close to the wall. So close to the wall. Kashmiri, he's out in his trusty Mustang. Is he going to be able to saddle that one up to the end? My apologies. Aidan Walsingham, he's out in a Ferrari as well. And you, of course, Eureka Castrop. The top three in full effect. You can see so much spray coming up from the back of the cars. Matthias Perhonen, is he still in the hunt for a top three? It's going to take quite the series of events. But could still see himself up there. Manuel Seitz out on track this evening, as well as Marco Bischoff sets himself a time. 2:25. And these drivers much more accustomed to driving in the 2-minute mark around this track, so it goes to show you just how much effect the wet is having. And of course, Henrik Gamble slowly making his way down through Forest Elbow, which I still maintain should be called Hell's Corner, because it is absolutely hellish if you get that one wrong. We have Tenvo ZA. Good evening and thank you for the follow. Lucky Hamden, High Low Fuel. We've got Chris. Chris, hopefully you're feeling better soon, my friend. A bit under the weather this evening. So yeah, wishing you a speedy recovery. There are, the Christmas bugs are doing the round. I know they say sharing is caring, but yeah. If we could all keep that to ourselves, that would be great. But yeah, Chris, I hope you're doing well. Thank you to all the German. I know there's no German broadcast this evening, so thank you to everyone that is tuning in for tonight's festivities. Mr. Robbie G. Barker, good evening, everyone. What we got tonight with the wonderful voice of Mr. Double O Raven. Thank you very much, Robbie G. Your voice is not too bad yourself, my friend. That's why we've got you in commentating when we can. But yeah, tonight, did anyone mention a wet Bathurst? Because that is what the drivers have got on their hands. Here is Boska, who's currently in pole position by half a tenth. Even in these conditions, the drivers could not get much closer on the front row, although Boska has decided that was a bit too close. He's now 3.5 tenths ahead. What has Haas got coming around the last corner? Now, see, Chialfi currently 4 seconds off the pace. And that's a pretty decent dismount in the grand scheme of things. He's managed to keep that completely out of the wall. Decent spin out the end, so massive style points for Sven Ole Haas. Not what he was looking for, of course, but he is still currently on the second row of the grid. Here comes Tasdalen. He likes a podium. We'll see if he can do that again this evening. A diminished field tonight, clearly. Quite a few drivers, it seems. Not overly keen. Wow. On mountain, that is, all the steering input. We should really have got an onboard lap during the quali, but as we can see, that is a driver coming into the pits. There is championship leader Anne Vasquez, currently in 4th position. Mr. Kieran Clifford, good evening. Thank you very much for the follow at LFM. Really enjoyed dinner last night. I hope you're well. Didn't catch you later on, but yeah, hope you got home safely. And we've got NGNS Mailman. Thank you very much for the follow as well. Wow, look at the lack of grip on that outside curve, but he still went for it. Pulls up short of the start-finish line. I do often say qualifying is vanity, finishing position is sanity, and yeah, don't think there's much point in setting any type of qualifying time in this. It's going to be so close for the first lap. All the extra slide, again, style points to the max from the drivers. Unfortunately, it's not helping their qualifying times. Henrik Gamble crosses the line. He sees himself in the top 10. Kashmiri. Now, am I actually talking complete nonsense? Is qualifying ultra important this evening because it is going to be ever so slightly difficult to overtake. Oh, and keep it between the mayo and the mustard. He's almost run 2 tyres onto the grass there. Round the last corner we go. What does Verhoeven have? The Eagles top 10. Gamble then at 10th position. So Bosgra does manage to hold on to the top spot. As the cars look to grid up, we can have a look at the aforementioned grid, and there's confirmation. Bosga takes pole position in round number 7 of the Nitro Concepts Contender Series. Sven Ole Haas puts Tasdale and Vasquez and Kastrop in his rear view mirror off the start line. A situation he won't be overly disappointed at. Tasdale and finishes quali ahead of championship leader Vasquez, who's going to have it all to do in the race. But given his pit strategies so far this season, does he need to get it done in the race, or is this going to be another pit stop wonder to see Vasquez retain the lead of the championship into the final week next time out? December 30th. Set your calendars. Kastrop in 5th place, side by side with Marco Bischoff up on row number 3. Walsingham just behind Eder, but joining him on row 4, 7th and 8th for the Diach and Veloce Esports driver. Matthias Perhonen stealing 9th from Gamble there, right at the death of qualifying. They will occupy row number 5. And on row 6, it's Kashmiri and Kialfe, 11th and 12th, just ahead of Leon Misk and Manuel Seitz. It will, as I mentioned, it'll be, don't know where that came from, it will be a 1 hour race as it has been all season. The drivers will have that one mandatory stop to make sure they have enough fuel to get them to the end of the race. And of course, confirmation that we saw at the start as well. I was massively excited about Bathurst. We've got Road America as well. So the final, half the grid. Oh, yep, they're joining in now. So the last 2 tracks, of course, only just decided. Bathurst this evening, and then December 30th, it will be the final round, which will be Road America. The drivers vying for those incredible prizes: the €500 voucher, the Acetec SimSports pedals, and the Cube Controls steering wheel. Here we go then, it's round number 7. It is a very wet Bathurst. We're going to go Choppercam for Hell's Corner. It's the green lights and away they go, and it's a good start by Bosca and Haas. In fact, no, it's not a good start by Haas, my apologies. Vasquez with a good start. He's got ahead of Tasdale in the top 2, going to go side by side. He's going to try and send it round the outside after a sluggish start from Haas. He's gone round the outside of the Hell's Corner on Bosca, and it's put Vasquez up into 3rd position. Sorry, Vasquez has put himself up into 3rd position ahead of Tasdale and Kastrop, not far behind, and they're almost touching on the way along the straight into Forest Elbow. Up the hill they're going to go. Oh, and they've swapped positions. Tasdale's gone ahead of Bosnia. Is that tactical from the team? It's kept Vasquez down in 4th position with Kastrop. Another one vying for the championship. Some changes in the background. Let's just check on that one. Eder and Perhonen are absolutely side by side. Up the hill they go, and Eder tries to plant it round the outside to retake a position. They've kept it very close. In fact, let me change. There we go, that's much better. So yeah, Eder with a sluggish start. Perhonen up a position in Walsingham with a great start as well. Sven Ole Haas though, he is getting the job done up at the top of the mountain. Another serial podium protagonist making his way down the hill in first place. Tasdalen in second, Bosnia in third place. Some team tactics deployed beautifully to keep championship leader Aaron Vasquez in 4th position. Kazdrop in 5th with Bischoff and Walsingham now at 6th and 7th. Neo Eder all over the back of Perhonen, trying to take back one of the positions that he has lost. Ooh, he's having a big look up the inside. Oh, and we've got a car sideways. Is that Gamble? That is Gamble sideways at the bottom of the hill. Oh, the Mustang. And they've tried to take avoiding action behind. He's straight back to the pits. Chialfi there jammed on the brakes to try and avoid the mistakes ahead, and finds himself sideways. Slightly too heavy on the power of the car. Back end goes. Did anyone mention rain? When we said it was wet for this one, let's get that there. And we'll jump on to Vasquez because he can. Oh, and there's been a mistake. Tasdalen has been gifted second place by his teammate, and he has handed it straight back to Vasquez as he tumbles down the order. Just as we try and get a look at the track conditions, it's one of the race leaders. It shows just how bad they are. Let me see if we can't get a quick look at that. Oh, so he didn't actually go off track. My apologies, he kept between the Mayo and the Mustard, but he did get massively overtaken. Let me see. This one here. No, so that's not him off track. Oh, but what did Chialfi crash? For some reason, Tasdalen's off track didn't show up. That's Vasquez though, going past him, so we've missed the mistake that Tasdalen made. But it was a nice easy overtake, not what Vasquez was expecting, I'm sure, at that stage of the race. But he has been gifted that podium spot. Tasdalen hangs on to 4th. Bischoff now behind him in 5th position. Mishka has come into the pits. It looks like Gamble is out of the race, unfortunately. Mishka in the pits, so an early pit stop there. I do think that's going to have to be, or I know it's going to have to be, a 2-stop strategy now with the limitations on the fuel tank. No limitations on the amount of water that's on the track, and Sven Ole Haas is going to be singing in the rain in the early stages. He's got that one. He's got himself a 3.6 second lead. In fact, we'll jump on board with Noah Eder. He's got Bischoff just ahead of him with Kastrop not too far ahead. And yeah, quick look at the conditions. Oh, and he's run deep. And he's got it back on track. 2 wheels on the grass and keeps it in a straight line. That, Noah, is a win all on its own. Along the Conrod Straight, he's dropped a lot of time. You can't even see the cars ahead for the spray that's coming up, but you can, I hope, clearly see the amount of standing water that is on the track. All the way down, so you can hear just how tentative the drivers are on the accelerators. These rear-wheel drive cars, all with huge amounts of horsepower. Walsingham in the pits. Aidan Walsingham in the pits. Perhonen sort of crashed, Matthias Seitz sort of crashed, and Aidan Walsingham has quickly jumped back to the pits, so he's had an incident which hasn't been picked up. Let me see if we can't see what happened to Perhonen. So coming over the top of the mountain, look at the beginning of his descent. Oh no, that is no traction at the end. He's managed to just about get it off the racing line there. But yeah, and then yeah, full Austin Powers to get himself back. And I can hear an engine coming. Oh, that was the Mustang, who unfortunately ended up in the wall at the bottom. So yeah, that was no Eder's mistake. Manuel Seitz has had an incident as well, and as I say, Aidan Walsingham finds himself in the pits. We're still on with Eder, who has caught up to the back of Bischoff. He's now back within a second, and again, there's puddle, absolute standing water on every single curve, no matter the camera of each corner. It's absolutely catching my breath how close Eder is managing to get to these walls over the top of the mountain to go. They are beginning their descent. This is where Eder had a bit of a mistake on the last lap. It looks like Bischoff has returned the favour this time. Really couldn't get the power down at all there. And Eder closes the gap as he carried too much pace there. Nope, he snakes his way down through the almost chicane at the bottom of the hill once again. Forest elbow. Keeps it nice and close this time. Eder keen to avoid the grass on the right, but does still manage to get himself ever so slightly close there. No one close to Haas, sorry. That is a big gap he's got. The rain is still absolutely tumbling, and so is his split times, to be fair. Bostia now 4 seconds behind Vasquez, 1.1 behind. Potentially just keeping out of the spray that's coming up from the car. Oh, big mistake! Oh, there's been contact. Bosca facing the wrong way, and at the same part of the track, they're going to swap positions again. Championship protagonists Vasquez and Tasdalen have swapped positions in the same spot, and Vasquez has no front on his car. He's completely lost the front of the car. He's about to lose another position, I think. Bischoff has come into the pits for a quick stop there. Now let's just have a look. Yeah, Bosca crashed. We're going to instantly go on to a replay of that. Oh, so he's just run off the track. He's tried to keep going. And it was the contact with the back of the car. I was going to say such an innocuously slow contact, and yeah, there is the aftermath. So Bosca, I mean, theoretically, he's handed his teammate the position once again. He's almost handed it straight back. But of course, no nose on the front of Aaron Vasquez's car. More than anything, Vasquez needs to finish the race. And he's coming out of the pits. We've got off. I don't know why he keeps jumping to scenic. My apologies, but also Bosca is running. Sven Ole Haas blissfully aware of what's been going on behind. All he knows is the gap is now at 11 seconds. He's almost gone sideways there himself. Tasdalen back up into second position with very little damage as well. The racing gods can be unbelievably cruel. Eureka Kastrop in third place, another podium. An early podium position, we'll call it, because there's still 52 minutes of Bathurst in the wet to go. Noah Eder propelled up to fourth position with all the goings on. Bosca down 4. Perhonen, he'd not long had an off track as well. He finds himself back up 3 positions overall into 6. Kasmiri and Manuel Seitz, who had an early off track himself, but finds himself up 6 places. Vasquez in 10th position. For some reason we can't get a camera on him. Chialfe. So he finds himself in 9th. No, either with the yellow flag. Oh wow, there we go. Oh no, he's not going to break in time. I don't think he's going to. Oh, he is going to keep it out of the wall. Nicely done. Very good use of the accelerator there to keep himself out of the wall, but Noah Eder, gave himself a bit of a fright, I'm sure, with that off track there. Oh yeah, getting a bit too brave on the end of the Conrod straight. Wow, that is incredibly well done in the grand scheme of things. Overly pushing it in the way in, put 2 wheels on the grass, which led to 4 wheels on the grass, which led to a trip out into the gravel. Very easily could have been that incredibly treacherous wall. As we see, one of the virtual racers, that was Bosca, going past. Oops. Apologies. Back to the live action. yeah. Sorry, my apologies. I've just noticed the overlay doesn't seem to be showing. Apologies, we will have the yeah, for some reason I have the timing tower at my end. It just doesn't seem to be working for your good selves. I will endeavour to remedy that. While we'll watch the race leader make his way through the rain. 12 minutes in. Oh, Vasquez is out with the race. Championship leader Vasquez out of the race. So yeah, he has retired. That is going to be huge for the championship, obviously. What is this weird German? My apologies, it's barely even English. But yeah, thank you to everybody for tuning in. We seem to have a slight technical failure with the timing towers. I will again endeavour to get that up and running. Not quite sure what's going on. We'll see if we can't get it fixed. Yeah, we'll get that working in a moment. But yeah, big thank you, Alexinico, Imaka. Stus Gaming on Twitch. I'm brutalising these, my apologies. Christian Yuhu, Angleridge, Mikael Mechias, thank you all very much for the follows. Yeah, we will see if we can't get this timing tower working again, of course. Let me just... There we go. We've managed to, yeah, Chris, I'll actually give you a giggle after the race and explain to you how we've managed to make this work. It's, yeah, it's quite an ingenious idea, but there we go. Information back on the screen, and as we can see, it's still Haas comfortably leading the way. Some team orders from the team at the start of the race. It's all worked well, though. We are still getting the game sound as well. Excellent, it's all working. Tasdalen up a position as well as Kastrop up to the expensive championship leader Vasquez. There is a Marco Bischoff into the pits. Of course, Bozta The unfortunate driver spinning out with the final chicane. Finds himself carrying a fair bit of damage, and of course the limitation on the fuel tank means it's definitely worth staying out that little bit longer so you can limit it to a one-stop strategy. Noah Eder rising up the hill as well as the positions. He's had a couple of off tracks himself, but is still trending in the right direction. Matthias Perhonen as well, no stranger to the sidelines so far, but is up 3 spots. Kazmiri up 4 into 7th with Seitz, and Kialfi up inside the top 10. 6 places for Manuel Seitz despite an off-track excursion in the opening 2 laps. He's found his rhythm at the moment. The rain's still absolutely piling down, as we say, up here. We've got, so we'll have Daniel Kialfi, of course. He's just round in the last corner, as I said, in the top 10. Leon Mischke up 3 positions as well. Bischoff is in the pits, taking his stop. Quite a few repairs going on. Vasquez, Walsingham and Gambol all out of the race early. So big ramifications in the championship, as you can see. Of course, I need to. So yeah, as you can see in the standings, it is Vasquez who is leading the way, but only by 3 points. It's 150 points for the race winner. This is going to put him massively down for the start of next week, so that really does shake things up at the top of the tree. Vasquez just ahead of Kastrop, who's currently in 3rd. Kastrop 12 points up on Haas, who's leading the way. So that gap between Kastrop and Haas, if it stays as is for quite some time now, it's going to halve the gap between those two at the top. It's going to bring that down to 6 points. Tas Dalen is going to make ground on Kastrop as well, but lose a bit of ground to Haas. Haas looking, to be within 6 points of the championship lead going into the final round. Road America on the 30th for that one. Still, of course, a long way to go for the drivers in this one. A lot of puddles for them to make their way through. Bostel looking for as much of a recovery drive as he can, but yeah, it's a lot of diminishing returns at this point. Given the amount of damage, he's going to need to keep driving that car on the absolute edge to keep it ahead of Noah Eder, as they massively avoiding that curb at the top of the hill. Now, can't see him overly surprised. Oh, he doesn't mind mixing it with those curbs on the way down the hill, that is for sure. Oh, I think he's maybe just slightly touched the wall there. Noah Eder getting pretty close as well. Sven-Ole Haas, 2 minute 25.7, his quickest lap. He's just on a 2 minute 28, and he's still 16 seconds ahead. So for him, surely all just about concentrating and getting this one to the end. Kialfi swapping position with Seitz. Oh, he's had a crash. Well, in fact, yeah, he had a couple of off tracks here and he's made contact with the wall. Unfortunately, Seitz into the pits. Mischke looking to gain a lap back as well. Kialfi gains the position. That takes him up 4 for his race so far. But yeah, almost a lap down on the leaders. Big difference in the times that we're seeing. Again, I just can't get over the puddles. The drive that you can see just... I mean, theoretically, he is on the dry line because every place else is standing water. And yeah, hopefully you can see that as clearly on stream as I can see that here. That is, yeah, massively infringing on the driver's abilities to do anything. Steer, accelerate, brake. Certainly weight transfer of the car is going to be always incredibly as important as ever. Over the top of the hill, we'll see what line. Again, the driver would normally be way over on the right up on that curve. Off, and wow, there you go. And that shows what happened. It can be done, but you will need a lot of steering input. Oh, and he's clipped the wall there. He's had to properly steer into that one. He's managed to keep it out of the wall. That's going to, we'll see what that does to his next lap if he behaves himself next go around. Catching up to some blue flags as well, 21 minutes in. Yeah, keeping it way over to the left here. We've seen a few cars so far touch the grass on the right there. They find themselves very much facing the wrong way. Moving over to avoid the puddle on the left. Stays right, oh no, he's right in. You see the puddle moving across the track there, right from the middle of the track across, and then right out onto the braking zone. And there's the type of visibility the drivers are dealing with as they make their way through here. Yeah, I almost feel like we need to have the drivers' inputs on screen as well, so we can see just how tentative they are on the accelerator and the brake. Normally up to 5th gear at this point, barely into 4th through Hell's Corner, where of course it's gathering on the inside. A little bit of extra steering there just to bring the back end in check out with turn number 1, the race leader. Keeping his foot planted through there, and he is now 17 seconds ahead of Tasdale. I'm sure will be more than grateful to find himself in 2nd at this point. Bathurst early doors of course let him through. Nice bit of team tactics on the overtake, but then Tasdale made himself a big old mistake, dropped quite a few positions. Then Bosca did the same thing. He's dropped from pole position down into 4th place, while Tasdale up that 1 overall is the driver in 2nd, and he is losing time to Tasdale, to Haas, but is still gaining it on Castrop, who another driver I'm sure can't believe his luck right now. Up 2 positions, wasn't the best of starts, certainly wasn't the worst of starts, but he wasn't inside the top 3, that is for sure. Very much is now. I mean, it says losing time to Tasdale, and he isn't actually losing that much. It's still sitting about 6.5, so they are relatively still close. Still all important weather conditions that are keeping the drivers on their toes. And he's got a yellow stripe on his tyres, which would suggest that he's out on dry tyres. And he's round the wrong way, and he's clipped the wall twice. He's lost the front of the car. No, he either comes across him at, oh, possibly the worst position. Although it does seem to have, the damage does seem to have bounced back onto his car. But yeah, unless I'm very much mistaken, he's on dry tyres. You can see the white, my apologies, on the side of Eder's tyres. In fact, with the Ferrari, we should see it wiggling at the last corner. He's got a yellow band on his tyres as well. And doesn't seem to be much in the way of grooves in those things either. Yellow tyres for Tasdale, and wow. No, either. He's got the white wall on his tyre. Let's see if these do have a groove in them. They should be the wet tyres. I maybe need to turn the graphics down up. But yeah, certainly for me that would indicate that he's on the wet. Some of the other drivers on the dry tyres. That is surely insanity. Perhonen, he's got the yellow band as well actually. Kashmiri's on the yellows, wow. So yeah, while I'm saying wow to the fact that we've got drivers on the dry tyres, we seem to only have one driver on the wet tyres. as he heads up the hill. Bosca. Yeah, that was a big dent that he had. Let's just have a look and see. Oh no, this was still the one from earlier, so it didn't actually pick up. In fact, oh no, so it didn't pick up the bump either, because it definitely looked when it was live that you lost a huge chunk of the front of the car. Adele 7, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in to LFM. It's round number 7 of the Nitro Concepts Contender Series. Oh, Bosca. Oh, Liner the overtake here. No, either losing a bit of pace. It seems so. Yeah, the damage that was visualised on screen, it certainly doesn't seem to be affecting the performance of Bosca there, as he does close up on the way down the hill, either perhaps while I was looking at the timing tower. I had a bit of contact with the wall. You can see the amount of spray that the drivers are dealing with. Yeah, with the window wipers firmly on. Oh, he's coming in the pits. 27 minutes in, Bosca doesn't fancy being damaged or in that spray, so he is coming in to the pits. Sights is in the pits as well. Oh, that's a lot of damage for Sights. He's had a big contact. Meech out on track. Bischoff is into the pits as well. He's been in there a while now. Sven Ole Haas leading the way now. That gap up to 19.2 seconds. So 2 second increase in the gap between the top to a 1 second increase in the gap between second and third. This Kastrup now finds himself 8 seconds down on second place. Perhonen makes his way past Bosca as he is on the pit exit actually. So there he is, exiting the pits just behind Perhonen, who's still got to take his pit stop. So that'll be a spot back for Bosca. I'm sure he would have got that damage repaired. Sven Ole Haas. Sideways there. Yeah, more than a bit of sideways as he was heading down the hill. Oh wow. Yeah, even the race leader with a 19-second lead over the rest of the field. Really is struggling. Let's get rid of that. Some more gratuitous watching of the puddles, because the water, absolutely no joke around here. I mean, this course, 400 feet of elevation for the course. Remember having to deal with this as well, walls either side. Of course, the public roads been in use as a racecourse around Bathurst since the late 1930s. Only really ever been changed once, of course. The Chase added to the Conrod Straight back in 1986. Not much ability to change this course, of course. As I said, it is public roads, houses and driveways on either side. And yeah, I really don't imagine it's much fun being up there in the rain. In fact, let's have a look at Bosca. He is getting close to Perhonen. So out of the pits and right at the back, yep, giving those lights a flash to try and get himself past. Now along that Conroe Straight, that is incredibly close, and the visibility absolutely ruined by the rain. Oh, Bosca's got his left hand wheels on the grass there. He did manage to get the car slowed down, didn't get enough straight line speed to get the Ferrari past the McLaren. Not massively surprising. Perhonen comes into the pits, doesn't want to lose any time. Bosca having a bit of a wiggle through Murray's corner. Dips into the puddle on the corner exit. Gets himself across the line. That's his outlap done and dusted. And you're hoping to keep it nice and clean till the end now. I mean, if you're in this position, you're over halfway through the race. Nobody likes to see their competitors crashing out, but certainly the drivers will be more than conscious of the fact that if they can just get this to the end, they're going to bring home some very good championship points. Haas looking good to be in the hunt for the championship lead. Or yeah, at least 6 points behind, sorry, the championship lead. It is Kastrop who has the potential to be leading the race. Even if he finishes second place in this, he'll be leading the championship going into the final round. Not a bad place to be for Road America. That is a good, solid, fun track. Looking forward to the action there. Kastrop, I'm sure will be as well. He is going to be, yeah, as I say, championship leader next week. Oh my, Paul. Yeah, sorry, yeah, he is, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at too many screens at the same time trying to do mathematics there, because no, either up in fourth is in for a very good finishing position as well. But yeah, Kastrop is of course going to be leading the championship. Tasdalen is going to be right in there as well. Haas is going to be in second place, so we'll see how the final round plays out. Vasquez out early doors, 4 cars out in the opening few laps. Bischoff is still in the pits, so I'm not sure if he's having an issue. He may well come back out. Potentially hoping for the rain to stop. It is most definitely not going to be doing that anytime soon by the look of it. Oh, Boska has just had an incident there. I think he's just taken a void accident past Mishka. Oh no, the Conrad straight just carrying too much pace. Well, it does manage to keep it under control though. That is borderline a very good save, to be fair. And Mishka, coming down the hill towards Forest Elbow. Oh, in the back of the car, just saying no thank you, and the front completely dropping off the Mustang. I'm sure the Mustang driver is going to have PTSD come the end of the race, given how close he's come quite a few times to incidents down at the bottom of the hill here. But they are both still running. Kashmiri now though, 6th position despite his early woes, so he won't be too dissatisfied from the drive. Yeah, Mishka, just confirmation there. Mishka coming in to the pits. That'll be getting that damage well and truly fixed. 6 will get close once again. The lap time's up in the 2-minute 30s. Haas pretty consistently in the 2-minute 28s now. So he really is managing that. He's gone as quick as 2-minute 25.7, but the vast majority of his laps have been in the 2:28. And we've seen a few times the car has more than threatened to get sideways with him. Keeping it going though, Tasdalen 21 seconds behind now. Kastrop's within that 7 second, just on the 7 second mark in fact, so hasn't lost any time and is threatening to gain a bit on Tasdalen. Yeah, the lay of the land for the championship for next week, very much still to be decided. Oh no, thought there was someone with an off track. Aidar up these 3 positions, still ahead of Boska, who's having again a solid race despite that big incident. I know that seemed a strange thing to say, he's having a solid race. Was running very well, took pole position, had the big incident, they managed to close in on the car ahead per Honan, who then came in to the pits. It does look like he's still carrying a bit of damage, but is lapping pretty consistently now. I thought there was someone else coming in to the pits there. Hello, Adele, hopefully pronouncing that correctly, welcome in. We've got, what is it now, 10 brave souls still out on the 3.8 miles of Bathurst. They're mostly swimming their way to the end. When it rains here, it really does rain. Oh, Kashmiri, just as we were talking, or just as I was talking about what a solid race he was having, avoiding all the incidents. It looks like he's had one of his own. Oh, tried to apply the brakes on the way into the pits and it spat him across to the right hand side of the track into the wall. He's now completely facing the wrong way and he's going to have to do another lap with that massively damaged car before he can pull in. It was all going well until it wasn't, and that is, yeah, a big one there for Kashmiri Kialfi as well, as I mentioned. He's had himself a crash as well, unfortunately. Another one on the way down to the last corner, not in the pit lane. Oh yeah, that's a run a bit too deep. Trying to find the grip there, completely unsuccessfully. So it wasn't so much of a crash, more an off-track excursion. As we see, Tasdalen doesn't come into the pits, has stayed out as well. Castrop deciding to do the same. 37 minutes in, so we will be getting close to the petrol tanks running out of the old go-go juice, so the drivers will be forced in pretty soon. Perhonen has come into the pit, of course. That's a lot of damage he's got at the front of that car. Kialfi as well, despite that off-track, still running. No damage for him, thankfully. So he's still going. Miska, oh, I think is out of the race as well now. Another car falls by the wayside as Manuel Sykes will make back a position then. That is absolutely all happening. I'm going to stay with the race leader for a moment or two. I will be back in a second. Apologies, there we go. We've been on board with the race leader. More drivers coming into the pits. Kashmiri comes in pretty unsurprisingly. It's so unfortunate to lock up on the way into the pit lane and spin to the right hand side of the track and collect the wall. collect a whole lot of damage as well. Kialfi still outlapping some phenomenal championship points he's going to be bringing home. Perhonen still missing the front of the car and still in the pits with Manuel Seitz. Massively off track at the end of the Conrod Straight and doesn't run off at the far end. That was quite the save there. I think that is worthy of a look, actually, to be fair. That was, yeah, quite the move. So again, along the corner straight into the chase, just no steering whatsoever, carrying all the pace in the world across there and keeps it on track on the exit. Not too bad a save there. I'm sure Sites will be more than happy with that one. It's JD, that is 100%, yeah, I'm absolutely in agreement with that, JD. It's not the ideal racing line, no. But yeah, it was quite the perfect landing. He fairly nailed the landing though. Oh, the race leader! Oh, and he's the wrong way! He's put his foot down and it's the same corner. It's the chase chicane at the end of the track. Race leader finds himself off track. Oh, and it was before that. Right, yeah, let's just jump straight back and have a look at that. There we go. Oh, wow. So your 2 wheels on the grass there, and then all 4 wheels on the grass there. That is going to minimise his braking ability. So it was fairly innocuous until this point. He's hung on to it. He's got it back on track and then completely lost the back. All the rest of them with the steering wheel to try and get back onto the track. And that is him now back out and running. And he has stayed out of the pits as well. Has dropped the gap down to 15 seconds. Wow, so he only lost 6 seconds there. It is indeed, yes. I think it's safe to say the rain is catching the drivers out quite a few of the corners. But yeah, that is certainly a hot spot for some cold tyre on water action, it seems. Sven Ole Hasten. 2 minutes 36, so 8 seconds in fact he lost on his lap time there. That is quite the dip. It's not quelling that pace up at the top of the mountain though. Look how close he is getting to these walls. This is how you win championships. It's also potentially how you lose them as well. Will the bravery come at a cost? And there's Sven Ole Haas. Oh, look at the wrestling down the hill. Even with a 15-second gap, he is wringing the neck out with that Ferrari. Although that's potentially as well just to keep some heat into tyres. I don't imagine that's an easy feat round here, because there are points where you really do just need to go through those massive deep puddles. Tasdalen. Yeah, he won't be looking a gift horse in the mouth. That has hugely dropped that gap, almost a third. As he keeps it under control out in the last corner. Kastrop as well, he's lost a few seconds to Tasdalen, so it's all going Tasdalen's way at the moment. Noah Eder still in 4th place. 2 Ferraris and 2 McLarens over the front, actively avoiding. Yeah, he's got the white line on his tyres as well. Kashmiri a lap down on the top 4. They've all still got to pit. With the Mustang driver still up 6 places on where he started. So too Kialfi there in 6th position. Bozka. Oh, is he out of the race? So this is across the start-finish line into Hell's Corner. He has run out of fuel. Yes, he's jumped back to the pits here. I'm not sure what's going on with Bosca. He was on for a potential top 5 finish. He now finds himself retired to the pits after what looked like some kind of weird technical failure, perhaps. Or, I mean, did he actually run out of fuel? I don't know. He drove around the corner and stopped. And then jumped to the pits. And that was him done. Perhonen has rejoined. He's almost taken himself straight into the wall first time asking. But he was in the pits for quite some time there. He's going to gain a place on Boston though. We've got 15 minutes left for the drivers to keep it going. There's been quite a few stops in the pits. Boston back in for a second time. Perhonen with 2 stops as well. Sites, Miska and Biskov both out of the race. The top 4 still to take those stops. And Sven Ole Haas, one of those drivers. He is regaining time on Tasdale in that gap, 15.4 seconds that is now. 16.6 seconds that is, yep, it's gaining, gaining, so it's all going back in his favour. Certainly by far and away the quickest driver out here in these conditions. Tasdale, his quickest at 28.1. Haas with about 25 early doors. He's consistently been in the 28s, but has always been those few tenths quicker than Haas, than Tasdale. Just to keep extending that gap lap on lap. There is Haas into the pits finally. Let's race a track that is surrounded by walls, 400 feet of elevation, and we'll put a double chicane in the pit entrance as well. Why on earth would you not? Tasdale pulls in the top 2 in the race into the pits. Kastrup is going to follow them in as well. No, he's not. He's going to make a mockery of me. There we go. We'll not either come into the pits then. We'll see what he does. The McLaren afforded a slightly better fuel tank as Perhonen is blue flagged. Almost a wiggle there from either out of the last corner. That just shows you the gap there. There's Haas back out in second place. Only Kastrup ahead of him. But only just, there's only 3 tenths between these two. These are top 2 in the championship. Well, they are by default at the moment with Vasquez being out of the race. So they're going to bring in a lot of points between these two up at the top. They're running slightly different races, you could say, at this point, because one's been in the pits and one has been out of the pits, getting past in the rain. Not the easiest. Kastrup certainly not obligated to do so by any means. Delta F, there we go. Has been deleted. Too many caps. But thank you for the follow, Fallon. Fallon 23. Thank you very much. If that is incorrect, let me know in the chat. I will endeavour to get it correct. But thank you for the follow here at LFM. It's round number 7. We've got Road America on December the 30th. The Cube Control F2 blue steering wheel up for grabs. And these two drivers on screen got one hand each on that wheel at the moment. After championship leader Aaron Vasquez took an early bath. Let's see what happens along the Conrod straight. I'm thinking that Kastrup is going to be in on this lap. The McLaren doing wonders out of that corner. Oh, Delta not happy about the caps lock. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Tasdale then in 4th place, Kazmiri and Kialfi well inside the top 10. This is good to see, and good to see as well Perhonen back out on track despite those 2 trips into the pits. Into the chase chicane they go, and out they come. And will we see the on-track race leader? Yes, we will. Pull in. Yeah, even in the right over that curve, and that one you can see puddles all the way through the course. Of course, as Haas retakes the lead. No, either in the McLaren follows in fellow McLaren driving Kastrup. These two looking for the final podium position as Tasdale rounds the last corner. He will retake second place, and we'll see what kind of gap we've got, and it's 16 seconds. It is 16 seconds. It's slightly closer than it was before they came into the pits. Delta, yes, we had 14 brave souls start the race so far. We have at the minute, I think we've got 10 left out on track. Yeah, I think Mish is finished as well. Can't get a TV cam, so I think Manuel Seitz is bringing up the rear at the moment. So a good points haul for Seitz. They've all been scared off by the heavy rain. Big news, of course, coming into tonight's race. We can see from the championship standings, Aaron Vasquez leading the way, Kastrup second, Haas in third position. Vasquez out in the opening 20 minutes of the race. So those 150 points will go to Sven-Ole Haas at the minute. As you can see, only 12 points between Kastrup and Haas. They're currently first and third respectively, so that gap will be 6 points going into the final round at Road America if the race stays as such. Tas Dalen will certainly be looking to upset the apple cart at the front if he can, but it is going to be quite the ask in the closing 8 minutes, although it is 8 rainy minutes of 3.8 miles of Bathurst. Not the easiest track at the best of times, and this isn't the best of times for the drivers out there. We do have these brave souls who have made it 52.5 minutes into the race, only 8 minutes to go. There's been absolutely no let up from Haas up at the front. Again, I've said this a couple of times, he's absolutely wrung the neck out with that Ferrari. Lap after lap after lap. 2 minute 30 there, so 2 seconds down of what he was averaging not too long ago, but he is still, oh no, my apologies, he has lost a bit of time there. Doesn't look like he's had an incident, but he is, oh okay, yep, he's got a blue flag car that he's going past there. Manuel Seitz. Seitz has just overtaken Bozka for 8th place, so he's gained that position back. So a top 10 for Seitz this evening. This is going to bring home some very good championship points for these drivers that have managed to soldier on to the end. Matthias Perhonen, despite 2 stops in the pit and a whole lot of damage to repair, he's still up 2 overall in 7th position. Ooh, although that isn't the wisest of strategies there. Maximise your time out of the walls. It was set with the car absolutely kicking when he dabbed on the brakes there. Such different traction under all 4 wheels at all times around the course tonight. He's avoided the curb on the right hand side there. The finish line is very much in sight now for Sven-Ole Haas. The major lifting has been done. Qualified in 2nd. He's made it up to 1st place. Teammate Tasdalen was given the spot from Bozka. Tasdalen made the mistake, gave the position to Vasquez. Tasdalen made a mistake and gave it to Vasquez. Bozka then made a mistake, and so Tasdalen then made a mistake and lost the position, and yeah, Bozka made a mistake and lost positions, and yeah, it was all kinds of chaos up at the front. The teams swapping spots to protect and challenge for the championship lead, and then the drivers making mistakes and finding themselves. Bozka out with the race, and Vasquez out with the race as well. Tasdalen in 2nd. I probably need to write that down just to get it right in my head, but I do know what I was trying to say. The opener was extraordinary. Kastrup comes back out of the pits with a 10-second gap over Noah Eder. So looking to start Road America with a 6-point gap. Well, 8 minutes to go. In fact, no, 5 minutes to go. Anything is still possible. The rain has not let up for the entirety of the race. And I think it's been an absolute testament to the driver's abilities that have made it to the end. Although there is, he's still going to make it to the end. I did think a couple of drivers were going to have to come back in for a later pit stop. because they did come in early for damage. Of course, the 60 to 70% of fuel that is available to the drivers won't get them anywhere near the full race distance, even in these conditions. So yeah, coming in that early does mean you're going to have to come back in to take on more fuel. Chris Mary just having himself a bit of a moment. He just managed to get himself back on track. We're going to stay on board with the race leader though. See how it's done over the mountain. Through the wall we go. So much further than the accelerators. Nice bit of engine braking over the crest of the mountain, and then down the hill we go once again. Not shy of the curbs down through this section, the Ferrari drivers, that's for sure. We've seen the McLarens at the bottom of the hill through Forest Elbow. Go absolutely out the way to avoid the puddles, whereas the Ferraris are getting right into that apex. And that's cheeky little contact with the wall there for Sven Ole Haas. And you could hear the carbon fibre just pushing back as much as it could on the concrete barriers there. Haas still right on the absolute edge. The race win very much within his grasp here with a 15-second lead over Taz Dillon. He did lose 8 seconds with 1 moment through the final chicane, so could even afford one more of those mistakes and still bring home the win, but who wants to risk that? Taz Dillon still with, 12-second gap now. So he's gained 2 seconds on Kastrup, who's lost about just under a second to Noah Eder. But I'm sure he will not mind. Third place absolutely in the bag. Just needs to bring this one home. And nice haul of points. What does it say that? Finds himself with a couple of wheels off track. Back out and running again though. Oh, Noah Eder. Oh, and that's a big off track for Noah. So much grit on the tyres there. Of course, the new debut model, although there won't be much grit on the tyres when he gets back on track because there is so much water. But yeah, Noah Eder just having a bit of a moment. Let's see. Oh yeah, so he put 2 wheels on the grass on the entrance, couldn't slow the car down, finds himself out on the gravel. And yeah, looking like one of those really expensive toffee apples there. Wet race, flooded race. Absolutely flooded. The track is flooded. Ironically, we've got some sun coming out now. Only in Australia, 104 degrees and there's standing water on the track. It's not 104 degrees by the way, that's just for pure comedy value. It's a boat race. Yeah, the Bentley drivers are suddenly kicking themselves. Everyone's suddenly kicking themselves they're not in a Boatley. Oh, that's an extra bit of steering input there. That Sven Ole Haas, I'm sure, didn't need to put in. Let's jump onto gyro cam and watch this because Haas. There we go. Just so we can see what it is I'm talking about when I say he's wringing the neck out of the Ferrari. He is wringing the neck out of the Ferrari. In fact, he's going to cross the line and win the race. That's as much as been going on in the last couple of laps. This is the last time Sven Ole Haas is going to cross the finish line and he is going to take the checkered flag. He was 3.5 tenths down in qualifying. He was no slouch in the opening exchanges round the outside of turn number 1, and Haas has not looked back. We've got a wider shot as he comes out the last corner. I want to see just how much jangle he gives it on the accelerator out of the last corner. Does he keep it nice and safe? Of course he does not. Oh, listen to the extra steering. There we go. The checkered flag has been taken. Sven Ole Haas joins some rarefied air. 2 race wins this season. The third driver to do so, and he will have himself a very good shot at the championship from the last round. Taz Dillon, no stranger to a podium, finds himself on there again. Another second place for him. Kastrop, another podium protagonist all season long, sees a checkered flag for third position. Road America next week is going to be phenomenal. No either crosses the line. It shows you what a bit of commitment can do. You can be up, you can be down, you can be in the pits, you can be in the gravel, you can be one spot off a podium. No either up 3 gets the checkered flag for a well-deserved 4th place. Alessandro Casmiri, his Jedi reflexes have been proved to be strong this evening. He's had some interesting off tracks, but that is an incredible race from the Mustang driver. He's going to round the last corner and take that checkered flag. Chialfi already been given the checkered flag in 6, and so too Perhonen, another 2-stop driver. And Manuel Seitz on the last lap has himself a bit of a moment out of the final chicane. He will limp his way across the line as Sven-Ole Haas, just making sure to leave as much bodywork out on the track as possible. Victory lap with his teammate. Yep, there we go, the two of them. Nice little victory lap for the two. GG Ollie Haas, indeed, a phenomenal race. In fact, we can bring up those race results. That is the qualifying results, of course. The race results. Now there we go, Sven-Ole Haas with a 15-second gap over his team as he shoots across the final chicane. Will we get some donuts on the gravel? We shall see. Let me just... Nope, he's jumped out of the car. We should really be concentrating on the results, but we'll be able to see the drivers showing off the horsepower. But yeah, Haas on the top spot. Tasdale and Kastrop join him on the podium. Confirmation either Kasmiri, Chialfi, Perhonen and Seitz all crossing the line. Manuel Seitz finishing last, but he was in 8th position. Boska, Michka, Championship leader Arn Vasquez, Bischoff, Walsingham and Gamble all out of the race. Absolutely incredible stuff from the drivers. Incredible conditions for the drivers to contend with, of course, and that is what they are contending for. The Nitro Concepts Contender Series Top 3 will be adorned with the €500 Camus voucher, a pair of Acetec SimSport Pagani R pedals, and their season championship, the Cube Control F Blue Pro. That was Bathurst, and as decided, again, the last 2 rounds only just decided, it will be a Road America for the final round. We will hang about for a moment or two. We should have we'll get the results up nice and, or as quickly as we can. I'm throwing Chris right under the bus there. We'll get the results up as quick as we can. And we'll get a look at those championship standings before we head off and see just how close it is. By my reckoning, which has reckoned to be incorrect before, but I do think, it's going to be Kastrop leading the way with Haas in 2nd place. A 6-point gap there. Tisdalen will be promoted to 3rd place. Perhonen up to 5th position. No either is going to leap up the charts as well, with Miska ahead of him not finishing. It's going to put him on to 660 points. Wow, so he's going to be just behind Brazil. So yeah, Eder looking to vault himself up the standings as well. Excellent, there we go, Chris TV. He is under the weather as well, so huge GG and thank you to Chris. He does all the organising in the background, made sure everything was all set up. He is now fastidiously and furiously typing away, getting those results updated so we can see the latest standings for that final round. What a season it's been. Red Bull Ring, Watkins Glen, Fuji, Sebring, Laguna Seca, Spa, tonight, Bathurst. What a race that has been. 3 drivers have brought home 2 race wins each this season. I think after the first 4 races, it was 4 individual winners, and then suddenly in the last 3, the drivers up at the top have started pairing them up. Of course, Vasquez, one of those drivers, he's not going to score any points tonight, so that's going to drop him right out the top 5. I believe we'll have those again. We'll have the results up very soon indeed. Huge thanks again to everyone that's given us a follow this evening. Thank you very much. Almost too numerous to mention, but we can give it a go. Tenvo, ZA with the follow. Kieran Clifford, of course, as well, good friend of mine, so thank you for tuning in. Kieran, Mailman, Alex Nako, Mika, some of these I forgot I couldn't pronounce. Stus Gaming on Twitch with Christian Yuhu Antridge as well. Miguel Miejas, thank you too for the follow. And Idel7, thank you very much as well. And thank you for the little angry face emote from Delta. I really didn't like that one. It is very good.
Race control scoring has ended.
Okay. Thank you very much for the update. Race control scoring has ended. And actually, while we wait on the results, enjoy. That's right, season 16. Get yourself signed up, get involved. An absolute plethora of racing up for grabs. All of the LFM socials in the as well as, of course, the main website. Join the hundreds of thousands of drivers taking part in the dailies. Get yourself involved. We're just waiting on the results from tonight's race to be added. Of course, it was round number 7. The recently decided Bathurst. The conditions catching out quite a few drivers. A couple of the drivers scared off by the look of it. 14 brave souls making their way to the start line. And 8 of them making it to the finish line. Bathurst definitely taking its toll. But yeah, the results not quite updated yet. So Chris confirming in the chat. Yep, let's go for a raid. We'll go and watch some more phenomenal racing action. The race series will take a bit of a break. It's Christmas next week, so have a phenomenal festive period, everyone. May your stockings stay as full as your belly on Christmas Day. Enjoy the Christmas dinner. We'll be back with the final round December the 30th. Make sure you set those calendars. It will be Road America that decides the fate of those phenomenal prizes. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and enjoy your Christmas period.